EastEnders head producer Ben Wadey has broken his silence about the explosive twist involving Zoe Slater and Max Branning. Viewers were left stunned this week when the BBC soap surprisingly linked Zoe and Max's storylines, exposing that the pair secretly had a fling earlier in the year. Flashback scenes in Thursday's episode, September 4, revealed how Max bumped into Zoe at a bar and was intrigued to discover she was part of the Slater clan. What began as curiosity soon developed into passion, while Zoe also turned to Max for guidance in her search for answers about her estranged son who'd grown up in foster care. Unfortunately, things took a dangerous turn when Zoe faced a frightening confrontation with Shady Greg, a man who pretended to know her child's whereabouts. During an EastEnders press conference this week, Wadey explained how the shocking storyline was put together. When you're lucky enough to step in and run one of these dramas, you immediately draw up a list of characters you'd love to reintroduce, he shared. Zoe Slater and Max Branning were right at the top of that list. Bringing them back felt exciting, especially with the deep history between the Brannings and the Slaters. So, when we knew we had Zoe and Max returning, we thought, they're bound to collide and it'll be brilliant. Then we asked ourselves, how do we make it as huge as possible? The answer was to reveal a hidden connection, that they've shared a relationship off-screen, and then let their families uncover the truth. You've got the Brannings discovering it, you've got the Slaters discovering it, and, of course, Stacey's reaction is a ticking time bomb. We wanted this revelation to explode right at the heart of the show. Rumours of Jake Wood's comeback as Max first circulated in May, before being officially announced in July. When asked if Max's return was always on the cards, Wadey confirmed, definitely. Max is an outstanding character, and Jake is a phenomenal actor. But beyond that, the Brannings are one of EastEnders' cornerstone families, and I wanted them back at the centre of things, with weighty plots. What excites me most is that the Branning legacy characters can still deliver gripping stories, while the younger generation, not just Oscar and Lauren, but also Penny, Amy and Ricky, bring a fresh wave of drama. EastEnders continues on Monday, September 8th, promising even more chaos for the Slaters as the fallout from this explosive week carries on. Why EastEnders' dangerous Jack and Ravi plot is only just beginning. Everything's at stake. EastEnders actor Scott Maslin has teased that Jack Branning's tense new storyline with Ravi Gulati is far from over. This week's gripping episodes saw Ravi attempt to recover the missing firearm that Oscar stumbled upon before reporting back to his uncle Jack. Ravi forced his way into Jack's home to reclaim the gun, only to be caught in the act by Denise. When Jack later discovered what had happened, he confronted Ravi outside, sparking a violent clash between them. Amid the chaos, the gun went off, and Zoe was accidentally shot in shocking scenes. Jack quickly moved to hide their involvement, insisting to others that the attack was gang-related and spreading fear that the shooter might strike again. Not long after, Jack and Ravi, once bitter rivals in love, realized they had missed their opportunity to hand in the weapon. With no other choice, they agreed to keep quiet, terrified that Zoe may not survive. Speaking exclusively to us, Scott revealed that Jack and Ravi will be forced into a fragile alliance, knowing that failure to cooperate could ruin both of their lives. He explained, "What you're watching now is the start of a downward spiral for two men who despise each other but are stuck together. They know the risks if they can't make it work. Everything is on the line. The danger couldn't be higher, and there's plenty more to come." We all know Jack. He's traditional, protective, and deeply loyal to his family. For him, it's about realizing the cost of what's happened and the risks he now faces. Years ago, he was a bit of a rebel, not so different from Ravi in some ways. Even though Ravi's positioned as the villain, Jack wasn't always squeaky clean either. As a cop, he's been on both sides of the law. Now the question is, how do these two survive this? Do they become allies, or will they betray each other? In next week's installments, Jack makes a daring move by lying to his police colleagues about his whereabouts on the night of the shooting. But when Ravi invents his own version of events, Jack retaliates by shifting the blame fully onto him. He convinces Ravi to leave Walford while he disposes of the gun, but secretly plants it in Ravi's flat instead. However, his plan faces an unexpected twist when Priya returns home and risks uncovering the truth. At a recent EastEnders press event, Scott praised his co-star and promised that the Jack-Ravi storyline is filled with surprises. Aaron Tiara, Ravi, is an absolute joy to work with, he said. This story gives us so much variety. We're not just repeating the same beats. These are two sworn enemies, and the writers have created clever ways to play on their hatred while exploring new dynamics. I'm thrilled about where it's going. Jack and Ravi's journey is only just beginning, and it's about to head into some wild territory. I can't say more. I don't want to spoil the fun. EastEnders star addresses Max and Stacey future as exit story begins. It was the EastEnders Christmas shocker that made us drop our turkey dinners, purely because we couldn't look away from the screen. Of course, we're talking about the infamous reveal of Max Branning's affair with Stacey Slater. Back in 2007, Lauren Branning secretly copied footage of the pair kissing onto a DVD and placed it under the Christmas tree as a cruel surprise. Chaos erupted soon after. Max's son Bradley, who was also Stacey's husband, spiraled, while his wife Tanya packed her things to walk out. In a final twist to the festive mayhem, Tanya fell down the stairs and was knocked out cold. It was a Christmas day the Brannings and the nation would never forget. Despite the devastating fallout for both families, Max and Stacey couldn't stay apart and ended up reconnecting on several occasions over the years. Now, with Max preparing to return to Walford, fans are wondering if old feelings might be reignited. Could Max and Stacey reunite? There's just one complication. As recent episodes have shown, Max has been romantically involved with Zoe Slater in recent months. He even gave her money to pay for a private investigator searching for the son she placed for adoption in 2006. But things turned violent when the investigator demanded more cash, and Zoe lashed out, knocking him unconscious. Max tried to step in and support her, but she pushed him away. Since then, the two have gone their separate ways, with Zoe warning Max that she'd finish him if he dared track her down in Walford. Zoe remains completely unaware of his past history with Stacey. Speaking about the possibility of unfinished business, Jake Wood admitted, "Without question, yes. Stacey's on her own, Max isn't. But there'll always be that bond, an emotional tie that doesn't go away." His on-screen brother, Scott Maslin, Jack Branning, agreed. It's those iconic EastEnders moments. Angie and Den, Max and Stacey. We all remember sitting there at Christmas with the DVD reveal, those moments that made the whole nation gasp. Jake on Lacey Turner's departure. Earlier this year, actress Lacey Turner announced she was leaving the soap for an extended break, with no confirmed return date. Jake acknowledged that this may complicate things. "I'm not sure if the timing is right for Max and Stacey to reconnect. With Lacey off for a long break, it's uncertain whether they'll cross paths again." Executive producer Ben Wadey was more hopeful, hinting that Stacey could learn about Max's fling with Zoe later this autumn. "You've got the Brannings and the Slaters both finding out," he teased. What's Stacey going to think? It's a ticking bomb we wanted right at the center of the show, and when it goes off, it'll be huge. EastEnders airs Monday to Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One, with episodes also streaming early from 6 a.m. on BBC iPlayer.